You're thinking about making the move to Strongsville, Ohio. Well, in today's video, we are going to take a look at it virtually through the eyes of Google Maps. So we're going to take a look just to see, where's the airport and where does everything go down in Strongsville, Ohio? What does the traffic look like? All these different things we're going to explore using Google Maps virtually right here. We're going to take a dive into the computer to help you kind of make a decision. You don't want to get boots on the ground, take a tour or explore Strongsville, or is it not the right fit for me? Whatever it may be, follow along. Let's take a look. Let's explore Strongsville, Ohio through Google Maps. All right, so let's jump on in. Are you new to the channel and you want to know all things about Cleveland, Ohio and living in Cleveland, Ohio? Well, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you can be notified when we upload a new video and stay current and up to date on all things Cleveland. My name is Kip Sweeney with Living Cleveland, Ohio, powered by Mancuso Homes, eXp Realty, and we get calls by people just like yourself every single day looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, whatever that may be. We are here to assist and to make sure that it's a smooth transition. So make sure that you look in the description box below to get my contact information and reach out so that we can talk about the right fit for you. Let's get started and jump into the video on Strongsville, Ohio. All right, guys, before we start the video, this right here, it doesn't look like anything now, but I'm working on something. I just want to see what a mustache will look like on me. So give me some time. You might see some things in the videos, may not look the best, but I'm working on it. I want to see what I can do, but needed to make that known. But for now, let's jump back into the video and let's get going with Strongsville, Ohio. All right, here we go. All right, so as you guys can see, we have Strongsville drawn up here. It's pretty much a box, right? Minus this little bit up here. But as you can see, we really have these two main roads, right? Pearl here and 82, which is Royalton, coming across that really go through Strongsville pretty much in the middle. So it's really, really easy to access and to get around. It's a very, very easy city to drive around. It does have traffic, right? We've talked about this a little bit, but as you can see, you kind of have the ease of just taking these bigger roads and getting to places pretty fast and then veering off and getting to where you're going. And these aren't the only roads either. So as you see here, we have Prospect that comes up, another busier road, another road that's going to be common. And we have Drake Road that comes here. This is also going to be another road that you're going to see a lot of traffic on in the south of Strongsville. And another thing that you're going to catch right here, we have the freeway, right? So we have 71 that comes through here. You have 80 up here, which is very easy to access and to get to. So we have toll roads, which are very, very close to Strongsville. You have 71, which is easy to get to as well. So you can see that Strongsville pretty much has easy access to the freeways, pretty much right into the center of Strongsville. So it's very easy to get on and off. And then right next to the entrance and getting to the freeway, you have South Park Mall. You can obviously see that right now. You have the mall right here. So you have very easy access to get onto the freeway, get off to the freeway, hop to the mall and get going. So whether you live outside of Strongsville or you live within Strongsville, you're not gonna hop down the freeway to get to South Park Mall, but if you wanna stop at the mall and then keep going to wherever you might be going afterward, very easy to do so. But it's also very easy to get around Strongsville. Along with this, so 71 and 80, I'm gonna zoom out because you're gonna notice that it's also very easy to access 480, which is another very common road. So you have 80, which is gonna be no tolls, and then you have 71 that will allow you to get on the toll road. But here, if you take 80 and you come this way, you're gonna see right here is where we have 480. And this is going to be a very common split. Many people go this way to get to 480, which is a little bit of a busier freeway. Many people are taking that commute to work and things of that nature. Let's talk about the distance from Strongsville to some of the main attractions, some of the important things, right? So we want to see what it's like to the airport, what it's like to get to downtown. We're going to go Strongsville to Hopkins Airport. As you can see, so from downtown Strongsville all the way to the airport is going to be a 15-minute drive. Here you go, 15-minute drive if you want to take this route, 18 minutes if you want to take this route. 3 different routes, all very easy to access, all very easy to take, and you have very close proximity to the airport. It's nothing, you're not doing a ton of turns or twists or anything of that nature. It's a straight shot pretty much. Get on, follow the freeway, get off, and then take some of the signs to get to your proper terminal. Not a big airport though, so no worries there. However, very easy to do. As you can see, it's a very simple drive. So getting to Cleveland Hopkins, whether it's for your own trip to get, to the airport and you're going on a business trip, going on vacation, whatever it may be, is very easy. Or if you have to ask someone to drive you, it's not much of a hassle for them because it's such an easy drive, as you can see here. It's not like you're asking them to drive 40 minutes one way to drop you off at the airport. So this is nice to keep in mind. Or in the last scenario, if you need to get an Uber, that's not gonna be the most expensive Uber either. You're not gonna break the bank. So good things to know. Now, let's do Cleveland Hopkins to downtown Cleveland, Ohio. So this is gonna be a rough idea depending on where you're going and where you work downtown. However, to give you an idea, it's about 30 minutes, right? So you have 29 minutes, 30 minutes, and 32 minutes, depending on the route that you take. So as you can see, there really are just mainly two different options. You have this one here, or you can take this one where you go up 480 and then you get back onto 70 to go downtown. You have two different options, but for the most part, they're about the same distance. So you can expect a 30-minute drive, maybe a little bit longer because of the time that I'm shooting this video. The traffic isn't crazy. You have a little bit here, which I honestly have no idea what that is. It might be a little bit longer when you do travel in the morning with that typical rush hour traffic, or in the evening with that typical rush hour traffic when you're leaving or going to work. Maybe add 5 to 10 minutes there. So maybe a 30 to 40 minute drive to downtown. Now, this is something you will want to keep in mind, because a 30-minute drive, if you're someone that wants to go to downtown and go to a sporting event, go to some of the restaurants, go to some of the different activities, venues, amenities, to go to some of the different activities that are being held downtown or events, you'll see that it is a 30-minute drive. So if you're going down and you expect to drink and have some alcohol and you need an Uber, sure, it could get a little costly, and it's a little bit of a longer Uber. But if you're driving yourself, there you go, you have a 30-minute drive, but maybe it's not the best idea if you'll be drinking. Now, finally, if you're going to drive with friends, it's not the worst thing if you have a designated driver. If you're going out to dinner, not a bad drive. You know, it's not bad to go down to Cleveland, make a 30-minute drive to eat at a nice restaurant, which 2 hours at least there, and then drive back. You know, that's not bad at all. It's a very easy drive. It's just that it's a little bit longer, a little bit more miles. All right, so there's the distance and an idea of what it would like to be to drive downtown from downtown Strongsville at that, you know? So of course, plus or minus a couple minutes depending on your location and where you actually are in Strongsville and where you're actually going in downtown Cleveland. All right, so we're back here at the overview of Strongsville. So obviously, first and foremost, something I want you to note before we start to zoom in and we get a little bit further is that Strongsville has a lot of nice Metro Park space, right? You have all of this here. There you're able to kind of explore, get into the Metro Parks, take hikes, go ride your bike, things of that nature. Really, we're able to get out and just explore the nice air. Well, the nice day if it is, sorry. The nice air. The air quality is good though, in my opinion. But along with that, as you can see right next door, we have even more greenery, green space, right? So not all of that obviously are the Metro Parks. I don't know why all of that is green. However, you have a lot of different spots around here to really explore and to get out and about, which is very nice. Because one of the big pros that we talk about Strongsville is the fact that you really don't have to leave. You have everything inside of Strongsville. Your living, your schools, your shopping, your restaurants, activities, bars, everything, outdoor life. So it's all here. And you can see this just in this snapshot, right? We haven't even gone into it, but you can see this snapshot here that you really have access to everything. And so jumping further in, if we zoom in, you're gonna notice, I'm gonna take you to kind of where most of the stuff happens. So here we have South Park Mall, which if we're gonna jump in, let's see what this photo gives us, right? So here's just an idea, South Park Mall. Let's explore a little bit here. Here's Christmas time, Christmas sweaters. So you have a lot of different stores inside of South Park. You're gonna be able to find a pretty vast variety of stores. It's not gonna be, you know, it's not just all high end, it's not all on the opposite side of things. You're gonna be able to find pretty much anything that you want inside of it. Now, to that point, if you're looking for like a Nordstrom's or a Saks, like as an anchor store, I believe the anchor store for South Park is Dillard's. That's just something to keep in mind as well. Now, we do have a Nordstrom's and Saks in Beechwood, Ohio, which isn't too far from here, but it's just something to think about when it comes to the anchor stores and what they have. However, I want you to see just all this shopping. So you have obviously the whole mall, but you can see all these different snapshots of smaller malls, of different plazas, and all of this that offers tons of other shopping and things to do. So it's all kind of right here and centered, but it's all at the same time spread out. So what's nice about this is that people going to certain places are going to those places and they're parking in that parking lot. They're not all just stopping at South Park Mall, and then they're going into South Park Mall, right? They're more spread out, even though the shopping is kind of centered, they're spread out in different plazas. So at least you're not getting overcrowded by people that are going to different places. You're not fighting people that are going to different stores, you know, like some of your typical malls that have everything really under one roof. South Park has everything, and quite a bit, but you have other variety of stores as well surrounding it. Now, what you can probably see as well is a lot of commercial named stuff. So it was one of the cons that we did discuss in my pros and cons, which you can go ahead and watch if you like, but you're gonna notice you have a lot of different stores that you've probably heard of. Now, you can see that was one of the cons in my pros and cons is that Strongsville is pretty commercial. There's some small local shops, but not a whole ton. It's very commercial and chain-based, right? So as you can see in the mall, obviously most malls are gonna be this way. You have a Kohl's, but now as we continue to come to some of these others of Costco, which is great, you're gonna notice that it's pretty much all of stores that you've heard of, other than sushi, because typically those are a little bit more local, but Men's Warehouse, so PNC, very simple. Now this is a big road, but it gets busy. Royalton is going to be a busy road, right? So just make sure that you're ready for it because it's gonna be something that you're gonna wanna make sure that you take into consideration when you go. If it's not something you would feel like dealing with, it may not be the best idea because you are gonna run into traffic, right? So Heinen's is probably the most locally owned store that you're gonna see here. Heinen's right here is a grocery store. We've spoken about it in my Chagrin video. If you've watched that, this is a local grocery store here in Cleveland, Ohio, very spread out. It's a little bit more expensive, but it has everything that you need and high quality goods. So it is a very popular spot. Many people grocery shop there as it is very busy and it is very popular. Very, very cool. If you're bored after this video, which I hope I'm leaving you entertained, search Heinen's in downtown Cleveland. It is a very cool location. It's in a historic building and it is a really, really cool experience. Even if you're going in there for just one simple thing, to be able to see it and to explore that building because the architecture is beautiful and they did a wonderful job with it. Continuing on, you can see, again, more of the same stuff, right? A lot of commercially named businesses, some car dealerships, Honey Baked Ham, just all these. You have everything you need here, but many of these things are things that you've probably had elsewhere. I wanted you to notice that, and this is a big part of shopping. Now, there's obviously small plazas elsewhere, as you can see down here and all around Strongsville, but for the most part, this is the most popular area. You're gonna see a lot of people going there, and just because everything in Strongsville is very easy to access and very easy to get around, right? So maybe you're making 5 to 15 minute drives at most to get where you need to go within Strongsville. Again, everything is there. You don't need to worry about anything. Now, taking a little bit of a deeper dive, very commercial here, right? But as we continue to come down 82, we get to right here, Strongsville Commons. Now, this is gonna be where a little bit of the history comes into play that we talked about in the pros and cons. So Strongsville Commons is kind of where the historic buildings are surrounding it. Even though it is a busy road, there's gonna be architecture around this for the most part. And then there's some over here. It's not the most, it's not a ton of historic buildings, but you will see that here in this area. And it's kind of a nice little area lit up for Christmas. So let's see, okay, that's pretty good. But it does get lit up for Christmas. They do a little lighting ceremony. It's pretty fun, and you'll see, I kind of walk through it in my intro in the vlog of Strongsville, Ohio. So you can see this, kind of give you a good idea of what it kind of looks like, a little bit of a bell tower. Let's see, here we go. So this is kind of a nice open field that people will go to hang out at. There's some events that take place, but for the most part, you can relax and enjoy it. Now, it is busy. It is on busy roads. So you do have to fight that, but there is parking that surrounds it. So it is pretty easy to access. It's not like it's a pain in the butt by any means. And there's a Mitchell's. Mitchell's is probably another little bit of a local place if you're not from here, but it's a very popular and delicious ice cream store. So I highly recommend getting ice cream from there. It is very, very good. There you go. You have the ice cream sign in the back. That is Mitchell's. Very, very good. Highly recommended. So as you can see, city has its little festival, its little carnival. There we go. I couldn't think of the name. You can see that it does get set up here in this area, and people do come and explore and hang out and have a lot of fun. So it is something that you'll probably drive past pretty frequently in Strongsville. That's really the center of Strongsville, downtown Strongsville, really where you're gonna get around South Park in that area. Now, as I mentioned, there are other little local shops in Strongsville. So you have some down here, and I shouldn't say local, but different shopping centers that you're gonna be able to find. So as you come up here towards Middleburg Heights and towards Berea, there's more shopping. But for the most part, that's really kind of the center. And then in the outskirts of it all is a lot more of the neighborhoods and the living and the communities. Now, what you're gonna see, and as you can really see through most of these basically streets and the lines and everything, are what look to be a lot of neighborhoods. There obviously are homes that are on these busier streets, on Prospect and things of that nature, on Royalton. But for the most part, many people live in communities. And now keep in mind, Strongsville has been built up over time. So the architecture changes over those years. So a lot of these communities you're gonna drive in, they are different in the sense of the homes have a couple different architectural styles as you go through neighborhoods. And you're gonna notice through different neighborhoods what year these neighborhoods were built based on the architectural style. Because you will see how the architecture changes in all of these, like through the condos, through the single family homes. You're gonna notice it change as you kind of explore and take a look. But so just take a look at all these different neighborhoods. They have a lot of neighborhoods. Strongsville is very community based. And so you're going to be able to experience that throughout Strongsville. And a lot of them have HOAs. A lot of them have the grand entrance and the community pool, the community playground, all of those things, a little bit of grass, stuff like that to explore, and sidewalks so that you can walk the dogs or go with the kids or just take a walk yourself, rollerblade, whatever it may be. Many of the communities really have that here in Strongsville, and you probably saw that in my vlog. You will find HOA being a very common thing in Strongsville. It's not something that you can't get out of. There are areas in Strongsville that don't have an HOA, but for the most part, it's gonna be maybe on a little bit of a busier road, or it's not gonna be in one of the communities or neighborhoods that you might want, especially if you have children, or especially if you want some of those amenities that are offered in these neighborhoods, in these developments. So keep that in mind as you kind of think about where you might want to be. As I've been through Strongsville, these HOAs aren't anything crazy. It's not something that's going to break the bank by any means, but it is something that you're going to be paying. It does include, trash removal, snow removal, some of that stuff, but it's not all of it, of course. And they change neighborhood to neighborhood and association to association. Now, it's not anything unbearable. So most people are okay with these HOAs because they aren't anything too expensive. It's not like living in, say, Crocker Park, which is a very popular mall that offers townhomes and apartments. That HOA there is about $400 a month, and they really don't do anything for you. Now that's a little excessive there. But here in Strongsville, these neighborhoods aren't scaring anyone away. It's not pushing anyone out because of the HOAs. It's not bad, but just know it's going to be something else that you're probably going to be paying, whether that's monthly, annually, biannually, so on and so forth. Again, depends on the association. But yes, so keep in mind, very neighborhood-like. You can find homes outside of those neighborhoods on Drake Road. You can find it on, Prospect over here. You can even find it here on 42. It's not unexpected on Pearl here either. So you're going to be able to find whatever it is you're looking for. Strongsville really has the home for everyone, whether that's a starter home, a condo, whether that's inside of a neighborhood, outside of a neighborhood, HOA, no HOA, whether that has community features and amenities like a pool, whether it doesn't, you will find it. Doesn't matter your price point, it's gonna be here. And you can also see that again in my vlog where we went from, I think, about 270 all the way to 2 million or 2.5 million or something of that nature, that you'll be able to find these homes in Strongsville. Now, they might be going quickly, so you do have to be ready. Something I haven't hit on, the schools. The schools are scattered around, so it's, again, not something that you have to worry about. I recommend, of course, doing your own research on the schools because I can't speak too much of it on them as an agent, but I will tell you that they are rated very highly. So you're okay there. But they are scattered, so you're okay in the sense of, hey, you're not gonna be bombarded with traffic because everyone's going to the same spot to drop their kids off or anything of that nature. And of course, school buses are obviously very available to come through, pick up your kids, and to take them to school as well. Now, let's look at the cities next to Strongsville. Strongsville is probably gonna be your most dense, but also your most modern and up-to-date city here in the area. Strongsville is surrounded by a couple others. So we have Middleburg Heights, we have Berea, Columbia Station, Brunswick, North Royalton. People aren't really leaving Strongsville to go to many of these cities because everything you have is in Strongsville, and Strongsville's gonna be the more sought after area compared to these. So it is definitely something to keep in mind. You're gonna be staying in Strongsville, but something that is a place that many people do look is Brecksville. Now this is a little bit further over, but Brecksville is going to have some of those things that you might wanna go explore. They have other amenities, they have cool parks and things like that that people do go and check out. Now, another thing, Hinckley. Depending on what your interests are, if you're a golfer, Strongsville has golf courses, but Hinckley is going to be a more popular spot as well for golf courses, just because of the size, because it's more of that country feel. It's starting to build now, but it's just a lot more land and less density so far. You're gonna see more golf courses there right now while it's still, being built up and things like that. But you're also gonna be able to find kind of some local or some farms and local produce coming out of Hinckley as well. Some of those farms, if you're into farmers markets and things of that nature. So for the most part, you're really gonna be staying to Strongsville when it comes to your surrounding cities. There's nothing wrong with these cities at all, but it's just that people aren't flocking to say, outside of Strongsville, leaving Strongsville to go to these places because they don't really offer anything different than Strongsville has to offer. And Strongsville even offers a decent amount more than what these surrounding cities offer. So something to keep in mind. You're pretty much going to be staying in Strongsville. Now, of course, that's different if you want to go to downtown and all that good stuff. And finally, let's look at the nightlife. So we talked about the nightlife and my pros and cons, and as you kind of could see, there really isn't too much to do. There's gonna be some local bars and some things to explore, but it's really not gonna be anything crazy when it comes to going in Strongsville. So that's where it might be more beneficial to get a ride or to go downtown and to explore in that sense. It's just something that you wanna keep in mind. There isn't going to be a whole ton when it comes to clubs in Strongsville. Again, that's gonna be more of a downtown place, and that's gonna really be the main theme, the suburbs, of course. Now, let's jump into a market report. So here's the market report that's for Strongsville. So your market average right now in the last 30 was $390,000. The average sold in the last 30 days, $377,000. So right now, Strongsville, it's seeing the popularity and the demand right now is there for Strongsville, Ohio. So you're gonna see some of these people and sellers trying to list their homes without really making those repairs. They're trying to really get most of the money out of the home without doing anything. And so they're pricing them high, hoping that they can get someone to come in and take it. But as you can see, people aren't really falling for that. That was more of a summertime type of thing. And now with the colder weather, people are negotiating and they're getting kind of these prices to come down and getting them at the condition where they truly should be at. So looking again, we have $184 price per square foot is the common right now. That is a little higher in the past 30 days. A couple things that I want to point out. We have recent listings right here on Cliffside Drive. This is one that we did in my video, in the vlog. So if you were there, you kind of saw this. This is gonna be one of the condos for $260, just under. Right, so this is gonna give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect. So this is going to be a 2-bedroom, 3-bath. So a little bit different, it's not usually like that, but it's going to be a spacious townhome condo type of mix, right? So there's a bit of an idea, something that many people might consider kind of as a starter and get into and use that as a way to get into Strongsville. Now, another home listed, this is gonna be at the $450. Now this I did not do in the vlog, but here is an idea of what people are listing the home at, all right? So just taking a quick glance at this, $450, some blurry photos, Cincinnati flag, but that's all right. So you get your space, and this is gonna be a common theme in Strongsville, is that you do have some nice plottage, right? You're gonna get nice land for the most part. Most of the homes have a nice amount of land, nice backyards, a good amount of space, and that's common through most of the communities and neighborhoods. Now, of course, it's not every single one, but it is more popular if you do want some land and you want to have some chickens, if you want to have a dog running around, if you want to fence it, if you want, just that privacy, you will find that in Strongsville. It's pretty common to be able to get those properties. And then of course, this last one, the most expensive. So this is in my vlog. We did take a little bit of a look at this one. In the vlog, we came and we took a look at it. We walked in front of it. But you can see this is quite a large plot of land. It is over an acre. I believe it was 1.8. So yeah, you have all the space, all that you want. Everything here and everything you need is going to be inside this home. You're really not going to be searching for anything much more once you're inside of it. If you want to change it and personalize it and the colors a little bit to your own self, that's a little different. That makes sense, right? You want to make it your own home and make it the colors that you want. Not everyone has the same taste. But here is a good idea. of course, just a good idea of what's going on in Strongsville right now and what it looks like in the past 30 days. This is January 4th. Oh, Happy New Year, everyone. But it's a good idea just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on and just to look at the market and what it's like. Of course, things change, so make sure to reach back out to me and ask, hey, what's going on in Strongsville, Ohio, or what's going on in some other city, in some other suburb. And I'll be happy to share the news and the information, just kind of take you through a market report, send it to you and review it real quick. But this is what it is right now as of January 4th, 2025, just to give you an idea and what to kind of expect. Now, of course, this isn't going to change drastically. So even if this is a couple months down the line and you're watching this, it's still going to be something a little bit similar. It just depends on how the market is right now and what the inventory is like. So this is our video on Strongsville, Ohio, the map, using Google. I hope I explained things, we explored properly. I hope you got a good amount of information from this to help make a little bit of more of a decision whether it's going to be a good fit for you or you want to come and see it in person. But I'm happy that I could do this for you guys. So let me know if you have any questions, any concerns, or if you're from the area or know about Strongsville, drop some information in the comment section below if I missed anything, because just to make sure that we can help each other make the right decision, just keep everyone informed. All right, so drop a comment below, tell me what you'd like to change, what you'd like to see in the future. I'll be happy to continue to make these videos for you guys. For now, take care and have a great start to the new year. On to the next one. All right, see you guys.